This is a story about a man who made history on Sunday and was in hell by Monday. A quarterback so gifted they had to let him play, and so threatening they had to take it all away. This is the real story of Jefferson Street Joe. He was the first black quarterback to start an NFL season opener, and he was also a man who died on Christmas Day alone with a needle in his arm, 4 days before his 50th birthday. Here's some black sports history you may not know. Before Junior ever threw a football, Joe Gilliam Sr. was already shaping the game as a defensive coordinator. He was an architect, a strategist, a black man in a profession that barely tolerated black minds like his. Joe Sr. coached during the Jim Crow era. He couldn't stay in the same hotels nor eat in the same restaurants as whites. But on that field, his defenses were feared, and his players revered him. Gilliam Sr. raised 4 children in the shadow of that stadium, and his third child, Joseph Jr., took in the most. It turned out that Jr. had a golden arm. His sanctuary became the quarterback position at Pearl High School in Nashville. Now understand something, it was 1966. Pearl High played in the city's first season of integrated football. Joe Gilliam Jr. wasn't just learning plays, he was living history. Every snap he took was a statement. When he wasn't on the field, he was on the sidelines with his father, soaking up wisdom. Junior was born into the game, bred for it. At Tennessee State, he was a 2-time All-American, a black college national champion, a straight-up legend on Jefferson Street. At Tennessee State University, Coach John Merritt built a machine. Number 12, Joe Gilliam Jr., ran the show. The Steelers selected Gilliam in the 11th round of the 1972 NFL Draft. The Steelers already had former number 1 overall pick Terry Bradshaw, but Bill Nunn convinced Chuck Noll to take Gilliam because he was the best player available at pick 273. Gilliam and Bradshaw were very similar in terms of talent, but Joe had a quicker release. He was very slender in his build. He was mobile, but he wasn't a runner. Bradshaw was bigger and stronger and could run the ball a little better. But Joe was a prototypical pocket passer. Noll named Gilliam the starter before week 1 in 1974. There was a player strike that summer. Bradshaw honored the picket line, skipping the first week of camp. Gilliam was there from the start. Some say that was a factor in Noll's decision. The thing is, Joe went into training camp and beat out everybody. It was 1974, just 6 years after Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. You had the boycott in the 1968 Olympics. Arthur Ashe was the first black man to win a U.S. Open tennis tournament. So that's just 6 years removed from some major things that took place in society and sports with respect to race. Now it's 1974, and you have a black quarterback in Joe Gilliam Jr. playing over a white number 1 overall draft pick who couldn't get the job done. In week 1, Gilliam's historic start started slow in the first quarter, drawing boos from fans at Three Rivers Stadium. He finished the game passing for 257 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, in a 30-0 shutout against the Colts. A week later in Denver, Gilliam threw for 348 yards and a touchdown. He brought the Steelers back from a 21-7 deficit, but the game ended in a 35-35 tie. Pittsburgh had a chance to win, but a game-winning 25-yard field goal attempt was blocked. In week 3, the Oakland Raiders defeated the Steelers, 17-0. The Steelers' first loss was a shutout. Gilliam admitted that after the game, he first snorted heroin to deal with the pain he suffered during play. A lot of people were writing stories about him back then, calling him a junkie and saying he liked to party. They got it wrong. Gilliam's body was beat up. He was looking for something that could keep him on the field. He knows if he doesn't practice, he's not going to play. And he took heroin, and he continued on for a couple of games. banged up on the field. Off the field, it was worse. As the first black quarterback to start a season opener, the hatred came pouring in. Fans were calling radio stations, demanding a change. They sent Gilliam and his family death threats. It got so bad that he had to move his family from Pittsburgh back to Nashville. Chuck Noll was quoted, "We're better off playing on the road." After the Oakland loss, the Steelers bounced back and won 3 games. But Gilliam threw 3 interceptions and only 1 touchdown during those games. Gilliam was 5-1-1 as a starter. But after fans began demanding Terry Bradshaw's return, Gilliam was benched. That's where the depression kicked in. Gilliam took a job away from a white, blonde, blue-eyed #1 draft pick who couldn't cut it. Bradshaw said that Joe was a better quarterback than him that year, and he beat him out fair and square. But he replaced Gilliam in week 7. But the quarterback play wasn't drastically different. Both Gilliam and Bradshaw finished the season with the same completion percentage and quarterback rating. Both threw 8 interceptions. But Bradshaw won it all that season, the start of a dynasty. Could Gilliam have also led Pittsburgh to their first Super Bowl win? If fans embraced him, would things have been different? Gilliam dressed for Super Bowl 9. He got a ring, but he didn't feel like a champion. 2 years later, the Steelers waived him, and the descent began. When football left Joe, Joe left himself. Substance abuse wasn't new to him, but without purpose, without the roar of the crowd, the drugs became louder. Arrests, petty crimes, desperate acts. The man who once commanded the huddle of the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers was now invisible. But Joe still had his arm. In 1983, the USFL came calling. The Washington Federals, a last chance. He played only 4 games, 5 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. The league folded, and the dream folded with it. He retired in 1984. 2 years later, the American Football Association inducted him into the Semi-Pro Football Hall of Fame. But here's the part that doesn't fit the tragedy. In the late 90s, Joe Gilliam got clean. 3 years of sobriety. 3 years of showing up at Tennessee State running football camps for teenagers who reminded him of himself. He coached, he mentored, he was present. He made it back to Pittsburgh for the final game at Three Rivers Stadium. The fans who remembered him cheered. He waved. It was almost peaceful. Almost. December 25th, 2000, Christmas Day. Joe watched the Dallas Cowboys play the Tennessee Titans. Maybe he thought about Too Tall Jones, his old college teammate. Maybe he thought about a what-if career and all the hatred he endured. Maybe he thought about his father. We don't know. 4 days before his 50th birthday, Joe Gilliam Jr. died of a cocaine overdose. 3 years of sobriety, 1 moment of surrender. The demons don't care about your comeback. Jefferson Street still runs through Nashville. Tennessee State still honors its son. But the question remains, why do we remember Joe Gilliam Jr.? Not as a trivia answer, not as a cautionary tale. We remember him because his story was never just about him. It was about a system that tolerates black excellence only until it becomes inconvenient. A league that celebrates pioneers but doesn't protect them. A country that loves the icon but abandons the man. Joe Gilliam Jr. was the prototype for what was to come. Doug Williams, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Steve McNair, Donovan McNabb, Patrick Mahomes. Every time a black quarterback drops back today, he stands on Joe's shoulders. We don't build statues for the ones who bled first. Jefferson Street Joe. The first, the forgotten, the cost.